then the question is like, are you also working with teams or bigger organizations, and how does that look like? Because okay, for me, I can imagine myself in this one-to-one scenario, but how does it look with the whole team? Like,
So first and foremost, I believe that people run organizations, okay? It's like not numbers run people, but people run numbers. And numbers are as good as interaction between these people in the organization. So what I typically would do, I would come in, check the kind of structure, the interaction between people, then I would look into numbers, there will be some mismatch, I will suggest some correction for that, and off we go.
Yeah. Do you have like, because it's always, easier to understand it, like do you have like an example of working like with an organization? Because for me it's like I understand one-to-one, but the organizational principles sound like...
because it's organizational dynamics, it's a little bit more complex, you're right. So the way I approach it, I mean, from my practice, I mentioned that I was in the fintech, right? And I moved to this area, and it's not a secret that I've stayed there for quite long.
Yeah.
So in fintech, what is typical? It's like you grow a lot and you grow very fast.
Yeah.
So that was the case of one of the companies I looked at and I helped at. And the shareholder said, okay, listen, we were growing like 200% year on year, which is massive, right? You can imagine that. And then at some point, the growth just stopped.
Yeah. Everyone's then scratching their head.
Yeah, and it's like, something is wrong there, right? And then what happened was the team was still running on all scenarios, but nothing changed. I said, okay, let me look into it. So what I did in the first step, I took all the organization and turned it into feedback loop. Yeah. So what I did, I talked to shareholder, to the CEO, to the C-suite, and then to the whole of the team. We did run a survey. Yeah. And then we immediately saw that, guys, it's interesting that you are a team consisting out of multiple teams. Yeah. And it seems like all these teams are not interconnected. Yeah. So that was the first aha moment. Then I looked into P&L, as I like numbers ROI, right? As we checked. So what happened there was that P&L was solid, but then I asked to flip it. I said, okay, show me which team runs which part. Yeah. And then there were huge blocks which were left out. Nobody was responsible. Yeah. And as you nicely know from your business experience, it's like if no one is responsible, that's it. This is where the margin... exactly, this is where the margins sing, right? And then I just said, okay, every team runs for itself. P&L doesn't have ownership in some parts. Obviously, there was some misalignment because they were just running too fast and margin was covering up for this mistake. So what we did, we crystallized one aim, one goal, then we cascaded it into KPIs, and then we introduced routines to make companies and teams in the company sync. So they were syncing, aligning, and they were moving fast, so they regained their momentum. And if I remember correctly, they were even able to increase their share by 10% from where they stood, where we started to work together.